Hey guys, welcome to Lemonades Out of Lemons. Today I'm sharing my induced labor story, and Karen says hello. Karen is my daughter and she's saying hello to you. Her birth actually birthed this YouTube channel, and you can check some of the the videos you'll find her in there. So induced labor story is something not so scary but a painful one. Guys, induced labor is painful. Okay, before I went through induced labor, some people who have already birthed before told me about induced labor. They told me it was painful. Okay, so I cushioned my mind that this is painful. I googled, and what the information I saw or I had was that induced labor is 2 times painful than normal delivery. So it was very painful, and it's going to be painful if you haven't gone through this induced labor procedure. Okay, it's painful. Just understand it. It's painful. Monday, the 1st of November last year, I was transferred from a clinic, our CHIPS compound, to a major hospital in the eastern region. Now, I went there. I wasn't ready to have a child. Guys, you know my story. I wasn't ready to have a child, and when I got there, I was very reluctant. Whatever the nurses told me, I really didn't want to listen to them. It's not their fault that I wasn't listening to them. I wasn't ready. I got a bed, and the doctors started checking me. The doctors were so surprised. Everything about you is perfect, so why are you almost 42 weeks? And we know that carrying a pregnancy from 42 weeks downwards, 43 weeks, is quite dangerous. But in my situation, it was my first delivery. I was okay with everything. The doctors checked on me, my urine, my blood pressure, everything was good. But I just didn't want to have the child. Thursday, which was on the 4th last year, I was induced at 8 a.m. And 8 a.m., one of the nurses told me, better find some food to eat, because immediately contractions begin, you are going to be all over the place. You wouldn't be able to control yourself, so eat something. So I did 2 bowls of cake. I ate my food. I was waiting. I was fine. I was listening to some gospel music. I was reading about induced labor, and everything was like, it's going to be painful. So I tried preconditioning my mind, it's going to be painful. Now, contractions started or began at exactly 12 p.m. And at 12 p.m., I knew that, geez, I have to go through this pain. So it was painful. The nurses didn't check me. They didn't come to check if there was any dilation till at 4 p.m. According to them, they should check me every 6 hours. And in this case, I was prompting them, I was calling them to come and check me up, and they didn't. So what made the nurse come to check me up was that my water broke. I was walking about trying to, get some of the pain off, and they told me to exhale. So I kept doing that till all the time. Great. So she checked me and she was like, why is it that your abdomen is so hard? I told her, I don't know why my abdomen is hard, but I feel like peeing and I can't pee. So she was angry at me. Why didn't you come to tell us? I told her, listen, I've been calling you guys for a long time. Nobody is responding to my calls. It's like every woman goes through labor pains and they are screaming or they are shouting. So because I'm calling for help, you think that it's the normal every woman labor pain attention, and you are not paying attention to me. So that's what has happened. So do something about it. And she took this sleigh hose, then she inserted it, and the pee just came out like that, and it was quite a full bowl. Supposed to pee and you're not peeing, you wouldn't call. I didn't mind her, in Ghana, every nurse thinks that the patient is their enemy. Instead of thinking that the patient is their friend, they really don't know the mentality with nurses in Ghana. So she was talking plenty. I asked her, please, can I get up? She said, yes. So I moved to my bed and I asked her, when again is there going to be a dilation? She said 6 hours time. I was like, what? I'm supposed to move to 10 centimeters and it's already about 4 hours and I'm still at 4 centimeters. He said, yes, because you couldn't pee and you should have come to tell us. I didn't know. They didn't come to check. So at 6 p.m., there was so much pain. Trust me, there was so much pain, but I had to. Time wasn't, it wasn't time for another check. So I was sweating even when there was fun. I was sweating. I kept playing my song and the nurses came every time now and then, I think about 30 minutes or one hour to come and check the contractions. In fact, I was getting angry at that thing they were doing. I'm in pain. You are telling me to lie down and then you be checking, putting your like that. What is that? I was getting angry, but I had to. So they were putting their hands. It's whenever there is a contraction, it beeps. Then they move their hands like that. I think at 10 p.m. I called one of the nurses. They still didn't mind me, I was going up and down. I was singing to myself. Some of the patients in the ward, the pregnant, expectant mothers in the ward, they were with me. Some were in labor, some were not. Some had delivered, and they were with me. Everybody is patting me on the shoulder, you can do it. 10 p.m. time period had moved from 6 centimeters to 9 centimeters. Okay, so the contraction was getting so very, very painful. I would press my bed, if there's so much pain, and wait for the pain to subside before I move a little. So that was what I was doing, and they still were checking the contractions, and I was still there, and it was very painful. Okay, so it got to a time I feel like I wanted to poo. I screamed and said, I want to poo. They should come and take the infusion from my hand so I go and poo. And there was a lady who was there, and this lady told me, find a bucket and poo inside. It's your baby. So I shouted and called them and told them, nurse, my baby is on the way. So they came to check and said, no, it's still 9 centimeters. I was like, what? If you don't take care, I'm going to have my child here on this bed and you're going to clean it up. I can't wait any longer, because when I went there from 12 p.m., they told me repeatedly, you don't need to push. It's not time. You don't need to push. It's not time. And I have stuck to that rule. I'm not pushing. I'm just breathing in and out, going up and down, wiping the sweat and the pain. My mom was looking at me and she knew the pain I was going through, and I could see it from her face. In fact, I even shouted at my mom to shut up sometime when I was, I was in pain. And it's 9 centimeters. I feel like pulling. You're telling me it's not time. I don't know. She saw that I was serious, because whatever she said, I listened. I kept quiet. I was composed, okay, even with the pain. But when I told her that, she sensed the danger in my voice, I believe. So she said, okay. The last contraction, let's check. And the lady checked the contractions. I was like, I couldn't contain myself. So after she checked the contractions and they took me, even I got up and instead of them to help me to the labor room, the nurses told me to take my Macintosh and then go to the labor room. So when the contractions were least painful, I took my stuff and I went to the labor room. And the midwife was there and said, put your Macintosh on the labor bed. I did. He said, climb the labor bed. I was like, what? Are you this wicked? A staircase there on the bed, beside the bed. I stepped on it as the contractions were less painful, I sat on the bed. And she went ahead and said, lie on the bed. I did. She said, put your legs here and there. I just looked at her, and you need to push with your mouth closed, and then on the, like you are pulling in your house. So I did that. Less than 3 minutes, I delivered my baby, and I had a tear. Okay, I had a tear, so she had to stitch the tear. Now the thing is, she's stitching the tear. She stitched the tear, and then she told me she had to clean my womb. You know, if you've been to delivery, you know what I'm talking about. She had to clean my womb. So as the tear is sewn, she's putting her hands inside, scooping the blood, and it's making everything painful. I could feel the pain in my tummy. It was painful. So when she puts it there, I tried to press on my tummy, and she said, don't press on it. Trust me, it's painful. You're going to press on it. So I told her, Madam, it's not my fault that I'm pressing on this thing. I'm in pain, so I have to, She stitched me, but when she was stitching, some places were sewn without the anesthetics. Okay, it was sewn without it, and it was quite painful. My delivery actually took about 8 hours, from 12 p.m. to 12 p.m. the next day, 12 a.m. the next morning. So it's 12 is about how many hours? Or say, should I start from the 8 to 12? Almost 10 hours induced labor process. So guys, if you're watching this video, I want to tell you that labor is very painful. Stick to what the nurses and the doctors tell you, so you'd have a peaceful delivery with them and you don't lose your baby. And also exercise. I didn't exercise because I wasn't ready for the child. I wanted the child to die, and I didn't do anything of that sort. So please exercise so that your delivery or your labor wouldn't be as painful as mine. Right? So thank you for watching today. If I have entertained you, educated you, inspired you, hit on the like button, and also don't forget to subscribe. My name is Mary, and this is our YouTube channel, Lemonades Out of Lemons. I'll see you some other time. Bye bye for now. Kisses.